Hey guys, real quick, Coach Sharon over here. Every single trade you take must have an invalidation point. I see so many people making this crucial mistake. If you don't have an invalidation point, you don't know what to do next. And so you find yourself buying and selling, or selling and selling and selling, or buying and buying and buying, as opposed to just moving along with what is actually happening on the chart. So what we're going to look at today is how to get that invalidation point and what to do when that point is reached. I'm going to keep this video real simple. Stick with me till the end. Remember to subscribe below, and we're going to give you some good value in this session. Okay, so let's jump on to trading view. I'm actually watching a trade right now that's possibly going to set up, so we'll keep this as short as possible. Let's look at kind of market structure first, right? We got higher highs or rather higher lows, or lower highs, forgive me, and lower lows, right? So lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Okay. So what are we going to do with that information? Let's say we have a situation such as this. Right? This to us is a market shift. The market was going one direction and has now changed direction. In other words, it was going down but has shifted up. And so what we want to do with that information is make sure we understand where to actually execute and what an invalidation point means. So if we saw a break of structure here, and I'll go to the charts after this, and a break of structure there, we're going to be looking for a buy if price comes back to a zone over here. Now, if you don't know what I mean by a zone, have a look at some of our other videos, and that speaks on supply and demand zones and how to draw them and how to select them. And that's going to give you a better indication of what to do at this particular point. But right now, I'm going to be talking to you about if price has come back there, what you want to do with the actual zone itself. So let's say it came back down in like that, right? So at this point, we'd be getting ready to buy price up, okay? Which means this zone over here is our zone of invalidation. What do I mean by that? It's both our zone to trade from, and let me just change this color to the correct colors that we use, which is green for buy. It's both our zone to buy from, but it's also our zone that gives us an indication that we might possibly be wrong, right? So let's say price goes below this point. Okay, if price goes below this point, we now know that our buy scenario has been invalidated. In other words, if price comes down like this, breaks down here, our buy scenario has been invalidated, and this sets up for us for a possible sell scenario, right? And so we want to make sure that we fully understand when we are invalidated. But let's say something like this happens, and I'm going to give you even another scenario, right? Let's say we have price action like this. And come on, trading view. Okay, so we got some price action doing that, right? And doing that. Okay, let's go even lower here and do something like that. Let's zoom in. Okay, so we have a breaker structure over here, and this leaves us now this time with two zones that we could possibly trade from before this overall zone has been violated, right? This means that our overall buy trade ideas will only get invalidated over here. Okay, which means we have two opportunities based on the higher time frame breaker structure over here to get involved in a trade over here. And so should this first one fail, and this is what we want to notice, which is different, should price then fall down and break through this first one like that, our overall buy idea is not invalidated just yet because we still have another zone holding, so we could still buy up over there. Now, why this is important is sometimes I see people doing this. Let's say price has been going down like this all the time, okay? And so you've got a zone on over here that you want to sell from. And if you don't actively get an invalidation zone. And what an invalidation zone basically is a zone that was created based on the last breaker structure that, when violated, means that your trade scenario, whether it be a buy or sell, like in this scenario a sell, is invalidated because it has gone beyond that point. So it gives you the confidence to trade in the other direction. So this is what I sometimes see happening. People have a zone on like that, ready to get into supply, price will go up, start dropping down, and then shoot through. And what will they do? They will put on another zone here and say, you know what, let me sell here. And in case it comes up higher, let me sell here, right? And then what happens? This price gives a bounce there, and they think, okay, let's get in some sells, and then shoots up. Gives a bounce again, let's get in some sells, and shoots up. Now, if they had this first zone as an invalidation zone, right? And they'll see it as a breaker structure now. If they have that first zone as an invalidation zone, this gives us better confidence instead to keep on selling. Instead of keeping a sell view of the market, we could then now start keeping a buy view of the market when price got in there, or when price got in there. And this could have been 2 buys as opposed to sells. This is why it's so important that when you are trading, that you choose a zone that causes invalidation. You always want to know what is your buy zone and what is your sell zone. Let me give you a quick tip. If all you do is start up every day with one zone above and one zone below, and you wait for price to hit those zones and then react from it or break it, you will have a much easier trading journey, because instead of you looking at hundreds of zones, you just select 2, and once price reacts to it, giving you a confirmation entry, or once price breaks through it telling you that the zone's been invalidated, you know what steps to take next. So keep connected to this particular channel, because we're going to be giving you more and more information about these invalidation zones and how to navigate them. I wanted to show you kind of an example on the charts as well. For instance, let's say over here, as price was making its way down, right, that you decided you wanted to, and I'm going to replay this. Let me do this. Let's just say you wanted to get in on that zone, right? And then price does this. It comes, and that's your invalidation zone as well. You have it marked up. In actual fact, let's make it even better. Let's say you wanted to get in on this one, right? And then you wanted to get in on that one. Now, these are not the best zones I'm selecting. I just want to give you an example, and you made this your invalidation point, right? The moment price breaks up beyond that, you now know I can remove this zone. So it doesn't make sense, and possibly get involved in a buy, because price is broken now to the upside and invalidated my overall idea. Right? So you could get in a buy on this little hidden zone over here. Let's see if it works. Right? Or even the bottom one. Yep, this is still within the same range from that high to that low. And now you got a buy trade based on a zone being invalidated. Let's have a look at another example of that, right? Can I tell you how many people I see doing the following? Look at this. Someone will have this zone on. And again, please go and have a look at our supply and demand videos, right? And they'll have this zone on. And they'll have, and I'm not saying all of these are good. We have to look at our odd and answers team. Those of you who are part of the academy, they'll have that zone on. And they'll have that zone on, right? And the problem with this idea is, if we don't have an invalidation zone, we'll try and sell at each one of these points, right? And let's look what happens, right? Keeps bouncing through all of them. However, if we had, and let me clear this, one of these zones, right? let's take this off, where one of these zones as an invalidation zone, such as this one, once it broke over there, we would know it's time to change direction, and we could get involved on this zone. We could get involved on that one, on that one, on that one, on that one, all the way up, mainly because we have an invalidation point. So the crux of this video today is, when you're setting up your charts, make sure that you got good zones selected within the scope of our odd and answers for those of you who are students. If you're not a student, even just based on your scenarios of what makes a good zone, make sure you got one above and one below, and then make sure that when price reacts to it, you have a plan of action. But if price breaks through it, you are using it as an invalidated zone, and this gives you a better clarity of what direction to take. Don't keep buying aimlessly and don't keep selling aimlessly. Make sure you know what you're doing and executing on what you're doing based on a specific set of rules. Now, if you liked this video today, please subscribe, please join, and then my alert is going off. So I'm getting you guys have seen live now, I'm getting an alert going off telling me there's a trade setting up, and so it's actually quite cool to include that in the video, so I'm gonna leave it right there. But please make sure you subscribe below and join our community or join some access. You know what, just overall stay connected, because we got some big announcements coming in the next few weeks that you guys are going to be excited about. So just stay connected, hit the bell notification icon, and make sure that you are up to date with everything that we are doing, because things are about to drastically change. A lot of you are going to get access to something you didn't think you were going to get access to. So stay connected to the channel, stay connected to Kingdom Day Traders and everything that's coming in the near future. Be blessed, be focused, stay humble, mindset multiplication and management. It's been Coach Chadwin. I'm out. Thank you very much, everyone.